Every screenwriter has seen this plot diagram. It's the classic rising and falling action of a 3-act structure. The story starts, an inciting incident kicks off the action, things escalate to the climax, and in the end, there's a denouement. Or, if you prefer, denouement. It kind of gives you the impression that there are only 2 big things that happen in your story: the inciting incident and the climax. But what about this giant part in the middle? What happens here? Because the middle is most of your story, and it's where a lot of scripts fall apart. Maybe your story had a great beginning, but it's just kind of running out of steam, and you're hoping the reader just sticks around long enough to get to the good stuff at the end. But if they're bored in the middle, the reader's probably gonna stop. In this video, I'm going to explain what makes a midpoint great and how you can write one, using the example of one of my favorite movies of all time, Bong Joon-ho's Parasite. Don't forget to like this video, hit subscribe, and turn notifications on for more screenwriting content from Arc Studio. And there will be some spoilers from Parasite ahead, but it's been over 5 years since it won Best Picture. You had your chance to watch it. So what is the midpoint of Parasite, and how does it help make the movie so awesome? Well, first we gotta backtrack a little bit and set up the story. When we meet the Kim family, they're struggling to make ends meet, living in their semi-basement. They're folding pizza boxes together and getting free fumigation when they can. But one by one, they all get hired by the wealthy Park family. First as a tutor and an art therapist, and then, after a little light sabotage, as a driver and a housekeeper. It's like a con man movie or a slow-moving heist. It's really fun. Then we reach this section near the middle of the movie where the Parks go on a camping trip and the Kims basically live in their house, drinking their booze and eating their dog food? But we're only halfway, and it seems like they've already kind of won and things are slowing down a little bit. The audience might start to wonder, where is this going? And that's when the doorbell rings. I love this part of the movie so much. I am so excited to talk about this. At the door, in the pouring rain, is the old housekeeper that they got fired, and she says she's left something in the basement. Then we have this amazing and bizarre Spider-Woman shot of the housekeeper, the reveal of the secret door, and the staircase that leads down, down, down into the secret bunker where the housekeeper's husband has been living secretly for years. It's wonderfully nuts, and things keep getting worse for the Kims, which mean they're getting better for the movie. There's a struggle for power where the Kims are on the ropes, but then they gain the upper hand and the old housekeeper is knocked unconscious. A call comes in from the park saying they've canceled their camping trip and they're gonna be home in just 8 minutes. It's so good, but I'm not just here to recap the plot. Let's take this apart to see what's happening and how you can use it in your own writing. First, you can feel the energy that is being injected into the story, like a shot of adrenaline or a giant slingshot accelerating us up the slope of the rising action towards the climax. So in your own story, if it feels like you've reached a period of stasis or things are lagging a little bit in the middle, a great midpoint can break the logjam and get your story rocketing forward again. Second, we thought this was a fun story of the Kims conning the Parks, but now we understand this is a bloodier, desperate world with more at stake. This shows you that a great midpoint can not only let you up the stakes, it also allows you to make a tonal shift. Even if your story started out lighter, you can make it more intense and interesting. But that's just scratching the surface. The midpoint makes us realize that we were not living in the world we thought we were living in. The audience has had the rug pulled out from under them. Everything feels like it's been turned upside down. And the thing about the world being turned upside down is that it is not comfortable for the audience. The audience longs to return to a sense of normalcy, a sense of equilibrium with both feet planted firmly on the ground. And the only way that they can get there is to keep watching to see how things turn out. Okay, so we can see how the midpoint helps the movie, but what lessons can you take from Parasite to help you create a great midpoint in your own script? First, this midpoint did not come out of the blue. It was set up, there was foreshadowing. Remember, the Kims live in a semi-basement, so this idea of desperate people living below ground has been established. And earlier in the movie, there was this mention of a trauma to the Park's son, which we later learned was because of the man living in the bunker. But those are just small things. In my opinion, the biggest thing setting up this midpoint is the entire thematic idea of the class system being unfair.
왜 이래 또? 나중에 그만.
똑같다. 둘이 냄새가 똑같아.
반지하 냄새야. 이 집을 떠나야 냄새가 없어진다고.
Yeah, the Kims get this little respite where they get to feel rich, but they don't get to keep it. The world doesn't work that way. The universe is going to have its say. it's going to hit back. Now, your script is probably about something different, but what this means for you is that you can use foreshadowing to set up your midpoint. And if you're trying to figure out what your midpoint is, you can think about what the theme or point of view of your story is. Let the universe in your story have its say. How is it going to hit back? This leads me to my next point, which is that the midpoint in Parasite is partially a result of the world or external circumstances, and partially a result of the character's actions. Like the Kims didn't hide the guy in the bunker. It has nothing to do with their choices or actions. But the other part is on them. They did get the housekeeper fired, and they were living it up at the Parks house when they shouldn't have been there. So as a writer, in your own story, you can take the circumstances of the world and the actions of your characters and crash them into each other to create a great midpoint. Finally, we had that part in the story where the Kims were living it up. They felt rich, and money had been their goal the entire time, so it kind of seems like they'd won. But they hadn't won. It was a false victory. You can use this in your own scripts by giving your protagonist or your protagonists some version of what they wanted. It feels like they've won, but then you twist it or rip it away. Of course, the midpoint is not enough. Things keep getting worse from there. The Park family comes home and the Kims are trapped. When they manage to escape, they find that their semi-basement home is flooding. They have to move into that emergency shelter, and then we get into that insane, incredible climax. So in your own scripts, do not let up after the midpoint. Hit the gas and accelerate towards that climax. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this helpful. This video was brought to you by Arc Studio Screenwriting Software, a fantastic screenwriting app, and the app I use to write my own scripts. Please check out the channel for more screenwriting content, including Q&As with screenwriters and live writing events. From all of us here at Arc Studio, good luck on your script and happy writing.